Okay, this is Jenny's first year Latin, chapter 17. We're discussing third declension. We've had some of the words already, and so we're going to look at the endings for third declension. Okay, I've written on the whiteboard third declension endings. There's a blank in nominative because there is no pattern for what the nominative ending is. But the endings for the rest of it is is, I, em, es, that's a um, ibus, ibus. Looks kind of strange, but that's supposed to be I wrote it in cursive when the rest is in front. The blank is there in nominative because there's no pattern. Alright. E.g., again, that's exempli gratia, for example. I use mater, matris, matrem, matris, matres, matrum, matribus, matres, matribus. On page 79, they do frater and soror. Again, you can look at the board and write down the endings and the examples. Alright, look at page 79 and go over the vocabulary. Consul, consulis, masculine consul, and that consul is the derivative and the meaning. Ducus, masculine leader. Frater, fratris, masculine brother. As you pointed out earlier, fraternity comes from it. Imperator, imperatoris, masculine commander, general. Imperium, imperii, neuter, man. You can get imperial from that. Mater, matris, feminine, mother. Miles, militis, masculine, soldier. Pater, patris, masculine, father. Get paternity, like a paternity test when, like on Maury or whatever show, when they're trying to see who is the father. It's a paternity test. Rex, regis, masculine, king. Soror, sororis, feminine, sister. Delecto, delectare, delectavi, delectatum, please. And the adverb mox soon. You turn to page 80 for the word study as imperium. It talks about Rome was originally ruled by a king, and we've already had one of our culture studies on the 7 kings of Rome. And then it was ruled by the consuls, and then eventually it was ruled by emperors. And then it talks about the fasces and the thing, a bundle of rods tied around an axe represent the king's right to inflict corporal or capital punishment. Then it has consul. It talks about the overthrow of the monarchy. The imperium was given to elected officials. And I think at this point it is important to know the first two consuls. So I'm going to write them down. And they are Brutus and Claudius. See, now the videos have culture within them. The 2 consuls were elected annually, and the word imperium came more and more to mean the power to command armies. And later on, they had dictators, and one of the dictators, Cincinnatus, he became a dictator, but once he did what he needed to do, he went back to farming. He didn't become an absolute dictator like Caesar, and he just did what he needed to do to get rid of Since Roman armies were led by consuls or praetors, Latin has no separate word for general. And later on, the word imperator meant emperor. So that's a bit more of some culture that you can use with those words. And you just know Brutus and Collatinus. Later on, we'll learn other famous ones. Of course, Julius Caesar was a consul, and then later on he became dictator. And you'll just learn other ones as you go along. So let's look at your story. We're still learning about Aeneas. That's pretty cool. And as you read your story, we will talk about what you'll need to do in your exercises as well. So, follow